everybody.
Hello.
I'm Val.
And my name is Mandy.
And this is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
And today we're here with my special friend,
Ciara.
Yes. And what are we doing today, Ciara?
We are navigating relationships and cheating together.
Yes. I know Ciara. I met her in Spain.
Yes.
Not that you guys have heard about it enough on these episodes, but
You can never out hear about it.
Yeah, it was a moment. It was an experience.
It's an era.
It was an era. So now
Spain.
she's here today, and she's gonna give us all the tea, all the scoop.
Yes.
And
This is our first little night PJ kind of
yeah,
episode.
we're wearing Christmas pajamas. Look
Can't
at how cute.
tell.
So
They're
cute.
so cute. And, Christmas theme. This is going to be our last Christmas episode of December. It's going to come out at the end of December. So
Yes, and we won't be having a episode in January for the first week because we're getting the new year started,
New
new
year
ideas.
ready,
We have a new kind of thing coming up for our podcast that we're excited for. So hopefully in the new year,
yeah,
that'll
so this
come
is
out.
our last one for a little bit, but we're going out with a bang with our cute PJs. So yeah, now, as we usually do, we have the icebreaker questions. So we're going to see what we got.
Oh my gosh. If you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time? Ooh. I feel like I barely sleep already. Like,
That's not good.
I mean, I get up at like 4:30 every day for work.
Every day
Yeah.
for work.
I take care of my dog, so I let him outside to go use the bathroom.
Oh my god.
And I feel like, okay, let's answer the question. I feel like if I had extra time, no, I would sleep. Like, if I had extra time, I would sleep.
Honestly,
That's the truth.
When I was writing this question, I was the same. I think I'd be really upset if I didn't sleep. Like, sleep is such a pressure
for
thing for
sure.
me. Like, the feeling
Yes.
of sleeping and the feeling after getting a good sleep. Like, that's why
Yeah.
people take naps, because it feels so good. Like, I don't know how I would feel without it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Val's big on her sleep prioritizing. Me, not so much.
No, definitely in bed by like 9:30.
Yes.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
to.
I was gonna say if you wake up at 4:30, what time are you going to sleep?
I'm trying to be in bed by 9:30. I try to be out by like 10:30 at the latest.
Wow.
And I take melatonin like religiously.
Okay, does it work still? Like,
Are
is it,
you
like-
doing placebo?
I've had to like increase my dosage from like 5 milligrams to like 10 milligrams. Like, we're gonna catch up over Christmas. That's the point. That's the goal.
Okay.
what about you? So you don't sleep often.
I
so.
do. That sounds. It's not that I don't sleep often. I just prefer to, I don't know, be as productive as possible. And at night is like I'm a night owl, so I don't go to sleep early. I just do all my things at night.
Right.
And then if I have to wake up early, there's that smidge amount of time of sleep. But what was the exact question? I forgot.
It said, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time?
If I didn't have to sleep, what would it? Well, you guys said sleep, so
Yeah.
technically that doesn't. What would I do with my extra time? I would probably journal or write more.
wow.
I feel like I stopped journaling because I just don't have time, but realistically I do. I guess I'm sleeping in the time frame that I could be journaling. Or I could be writing more script ideas. Like I said, I do it at night. That's where my ideas flow the most. So I feel like I would do that.
I
with
guess
my
if
extra
I had
time.
8 more hours or 9 more hours of my day, maybe I'll pick up a hobby. But I say that. But
Maybe.
But would I don't know.
No.
Yeah, like learn an instrument.
Right.
I would love to. Don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be more predictable. Maybe I'll read. I think sometimes I'll read because really.
I just like, if
Maybe
I
I
can watch a
read.
movie, I'd watch a movie.
I hate reading too.
I literally, it's just too long.
It's hard. I tried to get into reading.
Really? Me
like,
too.
I really tried. Actually, Val gave me a book that I told her, I was like, you know what, I'm going to read it.
What is
over
the
winter
name of
break.
it?
What is it called?
It's
It's actually
it's actually really correlated to
Okay,
this. It's
okay.
called. I think it's just a book about attachment styles.
Oh,
I think it's just called Attachment.
It's like
Who's
how
it by?
to understand your attachment styles. I don't know.
Maybe I need that book.
Maybe we'll show you. I was actually gonna ask a question according to this attachment style book, and I was gonna have the book on by with me to
So what
reference it
happened?
because it tells you about what attachment styles go well together in
Oh
a
my
relationship,
God.
which ones don't go together. They say signs to reach out, to notice if you your signs don't attract
Yeah.
something. It's really interesting. I highly recommend it.
I'm curious, honestly.
Image is inserted.
It'd probably help me.
Yeah, no,
And there's quizzes inside.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's fun.
It's like interactive.
It's interactive. They ask questions about you. They ask questions about your partner.
yeah, no,
I read it a long time ago, though.
I was really interested in just reading over break for some reason. I don't know. I got this like random urge because the books that I read right now are like poetry books. Like they're like the book Milk and Honey.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
like-
So those are the books. Those are the books I read, which Val doesn't get into.
yeah, okay, but I would get into that.
It's short to where I won't get bored.
Mm-hmm.
It's quick and easy, and also I love
It's
interpreting.
different.
I love interpreting words because those books aren't really like a story and a narrative.
yeah.
There. It's like what you interpret out of it. So I really like those. But I'm gonna try this book out just because I think it'd be interesting to learn about different styles
sure,
of
for
attachment
sure.
and all that.
I'm
So
gonna pass it on to you. All
Yeah,
the notes
no,
are gonna
pass
be
it
in
to
it.
you.
Okay, yeah. I probably
So-
will take some notes.
recommend for that book.
For sure,
Yes.
for sure.
Okay, so to talk on the topic, it is going to be a topic that I think our little generation's going to kind of relate on. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like relationships and everything.
Right.
There's a lot we can go with. And I think on the topic of that, cheating itself can be a very subjective topic. And it kind of ultimately comes down to the people in the relationship to define what is cheating and what isn't. You know,
Yeah.
every relationship's different. So, according to you,
Okay.
what is considered cheating?
So according to me and to my partner, cheating, I kind of feel like, in my opinion, is pretty much doing anything with someone and like not telling your other significant other, in a sense that not just like,
Being secretive.
not just being secretive, but kind of anything that your partner wouldn't be comfortable with and you're not comfortable telling them with. That's kind of how I feel like cheating is. Like, especially if you've laid down that foundation of what, like, you guys like, what you guys know you don't like, you're not comfortable with this, not comfortable with that, and you still do it, like, that's cheating.
Do you think this boundary that there is,
Okay.
does it have to be spoken between the relationship, or do you think there's kind of like an understanding of like where the boundary is? Because like in your relationships, do you talk about it, or is it kind of just no?
Right. So I feel like, I mean, obviously as I've grown, in the beginning, you kind of understand like cheating, like, you sleep with somebody else, you're cheating, right? But at the same time, you do need to discuss it because you need to get to know your partner. You need to get to know, like, this is the person you're into, and you need to know who you're dating.
Someone
Like,
genuinely do something and not think
Not know.
that it's making their partner
Right.
uncomfortable, and that you're like being the partner, you could maybe feel like it's not cheating,
Yeah.
but like in their direction
It
of
makes
that.
me uncomfortable,
right? So
right?
if it's not spoken about, it can be really miscommunicated
Exactly.
and
Yes.
lead a wrong way.
And I kind of listed a couple of things that some people can,
Mm-hmm.
maybe think some so-and-so things. So the first one I was talking about was flirting with someone who isn't your partner.
oh, for sure, cheating.
Definitely cheating.
For sure.
I think...
That's rude.
Yeah, I think
It is.
I personally think at any point where if you have to think about it, if my significant other was right here as I was doing it, if they were okay with me doing it, watching it or whatever,
Right.
and they wouldn't say anything about it, then it should be fine. But if you have to think twice and be like, if I'm texting a girl a certain way, or if this conversation with this person that I'm having with, if my significant other wouldn't be okay
Yeah.
with it, if I have to think twice about it,
Especially like in text, like I like to say, like if you can say what you're saying in text in person in front of your partner, then yeah, you're fine. But if you can't, you're cheating. You're lying to me. Well, I also kind of feel like lying and cheating are kind of the same thing in my opinion. I don't know if that's just me, but
No, I think I agree. I think anything secretive,
Right.
anything, if you have to keep something away from somebody because you know that it's gonna hurt them in that sense, maybe not directly cheating, but you're being unloyal, and that's
Right.
definitely something that would make me have to double think.
Yeah.
There's also people who have friendly personalities.
oh my god.
Flirty, friendly personalities.
But like I don't get that because people tell me, like, I've been told, like, oh, you have a really flirty personality, which, like, I understand that. I think I'm just a nice person.
I agree.
But I do think there's, like, a boundary. Like, there's a difference between friendly and being flirty. Like, you can be friendly, you can be nice, you can even compliment someone's outfit. But, like, saying, oh, my God, like, your outfit looks nice versus saying, oh, my God, you're so fine.
Yeah.
That's a difference. You know what I mean?
There's also, I think, like an understanding. Like I've been told I'm very friendly. I think I'm friendly with everybody.
Exactly.
I think girls, guys, adults,
Right?
grandparents, everybody.
Talk to everyone.
I'm very like that. But as a person, I can also tell when someone is taking the energy and the energy that I'm giving them in a wrong way. Like
Yeah.
I can see them start giving me energy and be like, they're thinking this is something that it's not, and I'm able to disassociate from myself. That really, really, really.
I feel like
quickly.
you know when someone's flirting with you. You get that vibe, and
Don't
people are
act stupid.
people are gonna put on a little bit of confidence,
Right.
suaveness. So
Right.
if you're entertaining that and you have a partner, you can't you can't just say, oh, I'm just being friendly.
Right, no.
There's that borderline that. So
Especially like at our age, we're in college. We're not stupid. Like we're all degree-seeking majors here. Like we're not dumb. So like, don't try to make me feel like I'm dumb.
right, and not to like put down any people, but there are girls and guys out there that don't care you have a partner. If they feel
They're like,
if they feel what? Did I just trigger both of you?
no, you're good.
It's just like there's some people that like if they think they're getting a certain vibe or energy from you and they know that you have a partner and they don't care, they're gonna go at it more.
Right.
So it's kind of just people are crazy out there.
yes, and then there's also the aspect of emotional cheating, where there's no physical, there's no maybe not even direct words at play of them saying that they're confessing feelings or anything, but I think there's also the turning to someone and being more vulnerable with them and like kind of like seeking comfort in someone else that's also not your partner.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not a fan of that. If I'm being honest, I kind of feel like my significant other, my boyfriend, should be my best friend. I feel like you should be able to confide in me, and I should be able to confide in you. If you're kind of like, it's kind of like, you come home from a long day and you had a bad day and you don't go tell your girlfriend, you go tell somebody else. It's like, how does that make your girlfriend feel? Like, you're not comfortable telling me about how your day is going? Oh, so why
Right.
are we together? You know what I mean? Like,
And is it, I guess, because what if, somebody's doing that to one of their homies, one of their best friends? Like,
So I
like
think-
where does that kind of stand? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, let's say Val is having a day and she comes to me.
yeah.
And not Damien yet. It's not cheating.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like depending on maybe, I don't know.
No,
You
you're
guys,
right.
You guys get what I'm saying? Like, where do you
There's a
kind of stand with that?
For sure. There's a difference in a sense, like when you go to your friends. Okay, so I'm straight. I like straight guys, okay? So if my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend went to his friend and told him, like, oh my God, this teacher did this to me. Like, I just had the worst effing day, That's different than going to, like, I don't know, some girl that's in the same club as you.
Right.
Whereas,
right.
like, you should have came to me. Or, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but, like,
So,
that's
yeah,
kind of how
yeah.
I feel. Like,
So I guess my thing is like I have a lot of guy friends. I have
Right.
a lot of guy friends, and my boyfriend he has girlfriends as well, and I'm able to be okay with it because I feel like one, my guy friends are close with my boyfriend. I like to make sure that
another topic.
I like to make sure that he feels comfortable around them, that they're good energy, that they respect him. I feel like there has to be a good all around like thing, which they do. But there's also like I go to them, I call them, and he knows that. But there's also like I find most comfort in him, in my own boyfriend. Like I will call them, I'll talk to them every so often, but the person that I do turn to the most is him. And so I don't have a problem if they ever go to them. Sometimes you may need to talk to someone a little bit different than the person that you talk to every day. Like that's 100% understandable. But if you're constantly turning to the same person and then you don't even tell me about certain subjects
Right.
and they only hear about certain subjects,
Right.
then that's when I get concerned.
That's a little bit of.
It's also like, I'm not telling you, like, you can't tell your friends, you can't tell your girlfriends your issues, but it's also like, you should want to tell me too. Like, you can tell me and them.
Right.
But, like, it should never just be, like, just them. Or, like, if it is.
You don't want to be out of the loop.
I don't want to be out of the loop. I'm your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I should know everything about you.
I agree. Like, well, like for me, at least I haven't been in one in a while.
Okay.
and so I have like my different friends that I go to, my different best friends, certain things for I go to for certain things and others for that. But me personally, when I'm in a relationship, I would only want to go to not only go to my boyfriend, but like you like you said, you want to treat it like your best friend.
Yeah.
So you want to go to your best friend for a lot of the things that you just, and it's not even like problems, just anything that goes on in your day, So I personally wouldn't want to go to all my little friends that I'm going to now. Once I'm in a relationship, I probably would just go to that one.
So then my other thing is, I wonder if that's, like, also just a girl thing. because like
Right.
I obviously, like, when I get in a relationship, the first thing I think of is my boyfriend. But like I don't know if it's just the guys I've been dating, or like they're just immature, or they just suck as a person.
Well, what do they do instead?
So like I recently just got out of a relationship.
How long?
Practically 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Basically right around like 2 and some change, but we just say 3 round up. And we broke up because communication just wasn't there. Like, we've been having issues, but it just wasn't there. It just wasn't working. And I felt like he just, for what we claimed we were to each other, it didn't seem that way. You know what I mean? Like, and then obviously we're here for cheating. He did it.
What happened.
He did
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it.
So,
Oh my God.
what's kind of the story on that?
Okay,
If we
yeah.
want to dive into it.
Do you want like the whole like backstory? Where do you want to start?
Whatever do you
want
think
to
is
share.
the most important part of details,
Okay,
whatever you feel more.
so-
Tell us
And the
everything.
juiciest.
Okay. So
We're getting into get comfortable,
Everybody
guys.
get comfortable.
So, as you guys know, Val and I did study abroad, right? So before we went to Spain, we were gonna get together. But I told him, I was like, I don't want to go to Spain in a relationship. Just because, like, we had been, okay, rewind. Okay, we didn't date for the full 3 years, right? We dated for roughly around a year and some change, okay? We were never stopped being together, though. And I mean, like, never. Like, we practically lived together.
Which is dangerous.
Which
is a dangerous
very,
thing.
yeah, looking back on it.
We live and we learn. We live and we learn, ladies.
live and learn. But yeah, so went to Spain single. And
Yeah, she bought him I don't even know.
oh
how
my
much
God,
money
the
cologne.
amount of money I spent
She
on
was
that
buying this
man.
man's stuff, and I was like, girl,
like,
is he even your boyfriend?
So you guys were dating for a little over a year before you went to Spain.
Yeah,
And
so-
then you guys decided to just not be together.
Okay, so we started talking.
Okay.
It's not freshman, senior year of high school. Before I'd come, I'm a junior in college, by the way. Before I came to college, we had got together that September. We dated from that September to maybe that February of this past year, right? Broke up just because, like, I didn't feel like he really wanted to be in a relationship. Like, I knew he cared about me, but I didn't feel like the communication and how it should have been was there. But we never, like, stopped talking to each other. And I'm not just saying, like, sex. Like, I literally mean, like, we went on dates, like, actively every week, at least twice a month for sure.
Yes.
It's just, like, I don't know, it just wasn't working, clearly. And then went to Spain single this past summer, came back, and I did something that a lot of people don't actually know. So we weren't together, and I might have hung out with a couple guys. I didn't sleep with them, but I did hang out with them.
Post Spain?
Post Spain, like a few
He's
weeks.
finding out now.
No, he knows.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's funny because, like, I hung out with one of them, and then that day after we hung out, I was like, oh, I don't really like this. I miss my boyfriend. And then he found out. Okay. Anywho.
Wow. Okay. So you hung out with them because we're broken up.
We weren't together, but, like, I still kind of felt guilty in a sense because, like, one, I still, like, I always loved him. I don't, like, you don't go 3 years without loving someone. I don't care who says that, they're lying to you. But obviously loved him, but I still felt like, I feel like I was still with him in a sense.
Okay.
Comes to find out, this semester, August, 2 years of that relationship, he cheated on me. The whole time.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're about to get into it.
It's exciting to me because I have
You don't know the story.
I have no like Val knows a little bit of foundation. She writes the questions for this podcast. It's all new for me, so I'm like on the tip of my toes right now.
Right, and like this was after Spain, so you don't know this part.
Yeah. I mean, I heard a little bit of some things.
Yeah. Yeah, right? And there was more. But basically, I had found out he had been having sex with this one girl from his hometown. And I kind of knew who she was, but I thought she was kind of his cousin.
Oh.
Yeah.
How'd you find out? From her or you?
Oh my God, we can get
Oh,
into
we'll
that.
get-
We're
we'll
gonna
get
get there.
there.
We're gonna get there. So yeah, they had been having sex and they met in high school. But kicker, she's not my age. She's 18 right now.
Oh,
She just turned 18.
No, I think she turned 19, but like
okay.
it was 18 when I found out, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you do the math.
Yeah. It's not adding up.
That's kind of silly. Super silly.
Super silly. Super sus too.
All right.
Yeah, they had been having sex, and I found out every time he would go home to visit his family, they had sex.
Wow.
And you guys were together.
We were together. And I actually found out because she told me. We had hung out one night earlier in the semester, like right when we came back from summer break, and she blew up my phone. Didn't even know who this girl was. Like, I knew of her, but again, I thought she was a cousin. She's texting me. Basically, she's mad that he tried to leave her. Yeah.
And that's when she was like, you know what?
I'm telling everything. Yeah. She had receipts on receipts on receipts. Like, I'm talking about, like, text messages that I've, like, from years, like, deep, like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She was ready to destroy this man.
And she was aware of you, though?
For sure. And so that's the thing why, like, people always ask me, like, oh, why did you stay? Like, or why are you still talking to him even now? Because, like, we officially cut it off, like, 2 weeks ago. But that happened in August.
Oh.
For now.
For now.
I mean, no, for good.
Guys.
For good. We stand on business. For good.
Guys, we need... ladies, comment... No,
Therapy
Ciara.
sessions. Any good, like, psychologists out there? For real. Like.
So do you ever blame it on the girl? Or do you just strictly blame it on him?
True. Good
So
question.
I think that's a good question. I feel like...
okay, so in the beginning, I blamed it on him. When I found out in August, I was pissed off at him because I was like, I don't care how crazy it is. In his defense, after like seeing the text messages and everything, he did try to cut it off a lot earlier, but there had something that happened and they were not capable of cutting it off. You can take that as you wish. They weren't capable of like cutting it off, and after like that passed, she kind of just was like, you know, I still like you, I still want to hang out with you. And he's like, no, like, I like Ciara, like, I want to be with her, I don't want to be with you. Okay, cool, I saw that happened over July. Came back to school, why were you still sleeping with her? Didn't make sense to me.
So then at what point did he blame her?
When she started calling me crazy.
Oh.
Crazy for what, talking
She
to
was
him or
like,
going back to him?
because like the text messages you could see that like she knew about me, and like I had not even known about you, like I don't even know you. She'd be like, oh, like you're so delusional, like why would you think he wanted to be with you after all this happened? I'm like, you're literally 18, did you not just graduate high school? Like,
Yeah.
You have more important things to be worried about. And then it's just like, I don't know. I think she's crazy, genuinely. And then considering what happened like 2 weeks ago, that really cut it off. Well, I guess I can get into it. I don't really mind telling you guys this part. If you guys are okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, we hung out, and we hung out at night, and sometimes I give him my key, and he'll just like come to my apartment, because like sometimes I want to work, I'll go to sleep early one night, and he'll just join me in bed.
That is scary.
Don't do that, girl.
I know. I actually
not
like had to get a
trustworthy.
new key and everything. I didn't even get the key back. Like,
Oh my god.
So he can just come to your apartment whenever?
I don't think he would, but like,
There's a lot of trust in that fact.
I know, right?
Hey, it's okay. Keep
You know-
on. Keep on. We're not here to judge. We
No,
here to
it's like,
listen,
when
but-
you say it out loud, you're like, did I really do that?
Okay, I've given my car keys before. That one was inspiring.
Listen, I think we've all done some
really
goofy little
we can
thing.
say stupid.
So
Okay.
it's okay. Yeah, Delulu all the way.
Delulu, for sure. So we hung out, and then we woke up the next morning. We were gonna go get breakfast, just like before school one night. I think I was off that day, and I'm getting out the bathroom. Literally just got out of the shower, and I look at my phone. My phone is being blown up, and it's by the same girl. I just read it. I didn't even say anything to him. I was like, what were you doing last night? Like, what took you so long to like come back? You know? He was like, oh, I was making music, you know, because he makes music. And I was
Another
like,
red flag.
Another industry. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm making music, and I just showed him my phone, and I was like, you can just go. Like, there's no point. You can just go. Comes to find out, she was very drunk, intoxicated. Moral of the story is she ended up in his apartment that night, even though he was in my bed. So she sent me a picture of every like past gift I've gotten him, because I like to do sentimental things. Like, I'll get you like cologne and stuff, but I also like to like make cards. I like to like handwrite letters and like all this stuff. So like anything I had gotten him from Valentine's Day, Christmas, his birthday for the past 3 years, on his bed burned.
By her?
Yes.
Oh. Whoa. What? I'm sorry.
Completely
And
burned.
what was, she sent you a picture? Did she
sent me a
say
pic.
anything with it?
That's a little.
She just sent the picture and she was like, if he's going to leave me in bed to go be with you, she was like, he could at least wash his. No, so yeah, he left my apartment. He snapped on her. They're arguing. She's arguing with me. I'm going back and forth with her. You guys know what I said. Sorry you missed it.
So are they still in contact?
I have no idea.
But you guys are still in contact,
So that day, I was mad at him.
right?
I went to his apartment because I had his location. I knew he was home. I drove around to like the back of his apartment because he like lives on the first floor. And I was like, oh, he's home. His light's on. Cool. I see his car. I went to Publix. I bought a knife and I slashed one of his tires.
Oh, wow.
And I knew he had a car appointment the next day to like get some coloring done on his rims. And I was like, oh yeah, get your rims done now. And then, you know,
Wow, this is real.
Yeah, like-
this is things that you like hear. As
yeah, like you
as
never
a
think you're
joke.
gonna be that girl, and then you are, and then it really makes you like take a step
What
back.
was that feeling?
Yeah, how'd you feel? Doing it, how did it feel? And then post doing it, how did it feel?
So I did one, and I was like, oh, I'm not even hearing the air come out. So I like jabbed it, and then I like dragged it down, and then then I heard the air, and then I got in my car and I drove home. Obviously, I was upset, so I was
So you
crying.
only did the one.
At that time. So obviously I was driving home, I was upset, and like I didn't understand, like I just slashed your fucking tire, like why did that not get a reaction out of you? Like I feel like if you cared, like you claimed you did, like I'm not saying like I wanted you to go off on me, not that I'm like toxic, but like I don't know, I just thought
We're getting some toxic behavior. I'm gonna
yeah, but I never did that to him. I never did that to him, okay?
That's why you guys are soul ties.
No, don't tell her that.
No,
Don't
no,
tell her.
we're standing on business, okay?
She's not going back.
No, no. But
Okay.
yeah, I ended up going back over there around 8 o'clock, and I did 2 more.
Wow.
I sent him a text. I called him, and he didn't answer. And then I sent him a text, and I was like, I would suggest picking up my phone, or I'm gonna do all 4.
Oh,
And
wow.
he didn't pick up the
That's a
phone.
message to receive.
Wow.
He didn't
pick up the phone. So
No,
the fourth one.
So I did 3 more because my roommate told me if you do 4, you know, like your insurance will cover it, and I didn't want insurance to cover it. So
Wow.
yeah, looking back on it, I'm
Is
not
it
gonna
regret?
I'm not gonna say I regret it, but I kind of do feel bad in a sense that like,
Does he know?
oh, for sure, because he
Okay,
saw
'cause
those
if
text
not, he
messages,
definitely does.
and like we talked that night after it
There's
happened.
a pro that he didn't like call the cops on you, I guess.
We talked that night after it happened, and he was kind of like, I knew it was you, and like I couldn't do anything because like I knew what I had put you through. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Respect.
Whatever, like you want. Okay,
All right.
thanks. Wow, thanks for not pressing charges. Thanks for cheating. Yeah.
And where are you guys at now, if you don't mind talking about it?
It's weird. Like,
Because this is going to get into my next question.
No, it's-
depending on.
it's so weird. Like, I just feel like I'm in such a weird state where like I'm kind of like we
Well,
don't.
my answer for you is no. My answer for you, and I was telling you off camera, like, we're at the point now, like, you'll never be able
Yeah.
to be in this relationship without feeling some sort of
Exactly.
insecurity. You're not going to feel 100% that you can trust in this guy.
Right.
Because, you know, like, you knew that girl was crazy, you knew that girl, whatever, but, you know, you still chose to believe her because you just don't trust him anymore.
Right.
The trust is gone. So.
Well, let me get into it. So,
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that everyone has a second chance in this scenario? Does
This is more like his 10th chance, but
I mean, right, 10th chance.
Yeah.
But in that sense, would you again give him that actual?
do you think it's
another
possible
chance?
to continue a relationship after?
Do you
he's
believe in
cheated?
second chances?
Of course I do. I
with
believe
that, with
like-
in general, with anything.
just in general, I believe
Right.
in second chances. Like I've made mistakes, so like I'm not one to judge, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like mentally right now, like I have to say no. Like, however, like once I graduate college, once I hopefully get into med school, I don't know where I'm gonna be in 10 years. But you're right. Like there's still always gonna be that part of me where it's like I don't trust you at all.
Right.
So like, why am I putting myself through this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of I don't know. It's like
No, but the thing is, also he brought a different type of rage out of
Yeah.
you that not a lot of people can bring out. only hurt people can, like, there has to be a specific type of person to bring that out of
Right.
you. And I feel like I know you very minimally, like, because we met,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't see the rage in you like that.
No,
I really
that's
don't.
my thing. Like,
And so
I don't even know you, and I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that. Like,
so being with someone, I don't think you can be in a relationship
No,
with someone
you
who's
can't.
able to drive you to that extent of
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's just you can do better.
No, and then on
and
top
it's
of
easier
that,
said than done, 100%.
for sure. And on top of that, it's kind of like, I felt like I was lying to everyone about everything that we were doing. Like we talked off camera, like, you should be able and you should want to post who you're with. And it's not that, like, I didn't want to post him. I just didn't want the backlash from my friends
And
of
sometimes
posting
you
it.
get embarrassed too.
Yeah, it's like, I know I look stupid, but you guys don't need to tell me I look stupid. Like, I'm aware, like, but I'm not gonna say love makes you do crazy things, but, like, sometimes it does. Like, clearly it did.
I mean, that's more than half the time. That's why people do go back, is because that was the most love that they've ever felt. Intense love, passion with
Right.
somebody. And you know, when you become attached to the hip with that person who you thought was going to be your forever person,
Right.
and then they're gone, it's so hard to just accept that.
Yeah.
You know, and so love will make you do crazy things. I very much stand by that. Not saying that that's a good excuse
it's not at all.
to do certain things, but you know,
I think, and I also think there's a point where you're gonna be tired of it.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
I'm not. Hey, if you go back, you go
It's
back, and
exhausting.
it is what it is. But everyone's gonna have a breaking point, and there's gonna be that moment, and they're gonna do that one thing, and that's gonna call it for you. Maybe
Right.
this one isn't, but there will be one.
Yeah.
And you'll learn. People will be telling you, and you want to listen. You know that it's the best thing to not go back, but sometimes it just has to happen.
yeah, you're about to go into med school too. Like you don't
hopefully.
you don't need that
Yeah.
stress on you when med school alone itself is so long, so
Right.
stressful, so tedious that this little silly boy
Exactly. And then, like,
does not need to take that time.
your question is, like, why, like, you give second chances? And I get it asked all the time. Like, my best friend, she knows. She's probably the only one who truly, really knows, like, the full extent of
Yeah.
everything. And she asked me, she's like, why do you keep going back? And for me personally, the reason why I kept going back is because, like, I felt like I messed up my freshman year. I felt like I came into college with somebody, with him, instead of, like, going out and, like, being my own person. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, I'm not saying I don't have friends, because I do have friends, but, like, close friends that I should have built that freshman year, like these freshman year roommates that you're so close and knit tied with that you can literally, like, hey, let's go grab lunch with. Like, I don't really have that. Like, my best friend goes to USF, so she went to FSU. Like, we literally, like, we're not in the same city. And I also just, like, it was just easier for me to just do things with him, even when we were on our bad terms, even when we had our fights. It was just always like, let's just go to Target, you know what I mean? Like,
So when he became that person
Yeah.
that you always turn to.
Yeah.
See, like, the one thing I'd say, like, with the right person, you would have never felt that way. I feel like you would have never felt like I feel like with the right person, you might have been also meeting other people. You would have not felt like you had to just be with him.
see, but that's the thing. I know you're going to think that I was trapped, but it's like, I wasn't.
Like, you chose it.
I chose, like, I enjoyed spending time. Like, even now, like, I rather would have had been with him than, like, if anyone's like, oh, let's go to the movies, I'm like, oh, well, I have plans. Like, which I know
Right.
how most people are with their boyfriends. They're like, yeah, I have plans with my boyfriend. But, like,
Yeah.
my thing was just, like, I didn't feel trapped because he, you know, I always let him go out and make friends, which he clearly did. And he always, like, you know, he let me study. Like, I'm studying abroad. Like, I made friends and I did that. But it's like, I would have rather spend majority of my time with him.
Yeah.
And that's probably, like, attachment issues, 100%.
Yeah, it's
But-
For that book comes in handy.
Right.
No, yeah. I mean, hey, like,
Yeah.
you know what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
it's love. It's that thing. But whatever.
Yeah.
Going forward in life,
Oh, for sure.
what do you view as important in relationships? And
Next one,
what are
possibly.
your non-negotiables in a guy or in a relationship?
I feel like everyone says communication, but I really need a guy that's just open. And I'm not saying, like, some guys aren't, and that's okay, but you're not the guy for me.
Yeah.
Like, I just need a guy who willingly just, like, talks to me, because I'm a talker. I'm a listener sometimes, but I like to talk.
Yeah.
But I like guys who like to talk back to me. And I kind of feel like, in my ex, like, I would have to pry like anything about his day out of him, even if it was like the simplest thing in the world. Like, he went to Target, and he would literally just tell me he's going to the store, and I'd be like, "Oh, what
do?
store? Like, what'd you
get?
buy?" Like, and I'm just like, I don't want a guy like that. I just want it to flow naturally. Or like, I just also cannot do like lying on any like slate. Like, not even just like with people. Like, going back to the store thing. If you tell me you're going to Target, but you actually go to Walmart, you're lying to me. Like, I know that's crazy, but like, if you can lie about little things like that, like unintentionally, like, what does that say about the big things you're lying about?
No, it's true.
That's
very
how
true.
I feel. So,
I agree. What
for
are
sure.
your non-negotiables if we're talking about it?
My non-negotiables, I'm a big like communicator as well. So I overthink a lot. Val knows that. I overthink like crazy. So I feel like just being reassuring and communicative is one of the best things you can do, because a lot of the problems I dealt with not regarding relationships, but like, you know, talking and dating, to me the communication has to be on point, because I hate being confused and I hate wondering and trying to figure out what the other person is thinking. So if somebody's just communicative, I think that releases a lot of stress off my shoulders.
Right.
And I think also somebody who's driven and passionate. I think that is so important.
Yes.
I think I can never do a bum. I can't. And I don't think where I'm at mentally and like with my future that would ever be compatible with somebody who's not.
Who you surround yourself, your environment is very much dictating on like who you're kind of gonna be. You know, if you're around a bum, if you're around someone who's not motivated, you're gonna lose less than your motivation. It's gonna bring you down. That's just what it means.
And I think good friends too. I think them having good friends and all getting together, all getting along is important, because we were talking about this the other day. Like, if like the guy's friends, if you get along with them, and I lost my train of thought. What did we say?
No, we were talking about good friends because honestly, like, if the people that he's around, they don't respect you, one, they'll either push them to be doing things that's disrespecting you, that's against you. There's that. There's a thing that, like, you know, people go to social events and you get invited, like everything that I do, everything my friends do, like my boyfriend's automatically invited because they enjoy his presence, they love him. And you know, I'm not super close with his friends, but like I still know that there's a degree of like respect, and there's still like they're super nice to me, be kind. Like, I'm very against, like, if you're gonna be one of my boyfriend's girlfriends, like, I'm so okay with that. Be friends with him, but be nice to me. Exactly. I'm a person too. Like, don't just walk by me. Don't just whatever. Like, I think that's really important. People always be calling me on this episode.
I was like, oh, you're so popular.
But it's just I think it's very important to have them also being around a good amount of people. I think what is important for me is affection. I think I'm very that's like my little love language. Like that's even with my friends. Like I'm very like either that's like just showing acts of kindness or just like being physical. I'm very big on that. Like if someone doesn't like that, if my significant other doesn't like that, we ain't going.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
That's my form of reassurance. Mm-hmm. If you do that, like it's just what I need. You know.
Yeah. And I think like reassurance is a big thing for all three of us, and it could be mainly because of like the past guys, which is okay. I don't think that's a problem for us, but I think that's an even bigger important thing for the person to have is just reassurance, because
just moving forward.
But it also teaches,
and it should be the bare minimum. Honestly, reassurance. You know, you want to make sure that the girl feels special and feels good.
And
like
I make sure to do that myself too, because I know how important it is for me. So I'm like.
And
they may not be super big on it, but I like to show them little, like, I'll, like, write them a little card, I'll do a little note.
They don't admit it, but I'm pretty sure guys love the little reassurance.
They act like they don't like it, but they don't.
Yeah. They love so you gotta think of the guy, you gotta think of the guy, too.
No, I hope moving forward that, like, this is something I can definitely talk to my future about, like, my future significant other about, so that he knows that, like, I'm just not pulling this out of, like, my ass why I need reassurance. Like,
that's the topic for another day.
Yeah. We're on to bigger, better things in the future, long story short.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. And I I do hope that, I know it's only been 2 weeks, but you can push through.
Yeah.
Make it 4, then
know,
make it 2 months.
It's every day. No, literally every hour. Every hour is a reward.
I'm gonna start by blocking him. Anyways.
Let me start by deleting the pictures.
The pictures don't have to be deleted.
No, they do. I don't know, actually.
I hope the next time we speak to you, Ciara,
Yeah.
that we don't even, we're like, who's this man again?
Right?
We're
I don't
reach
know
out
his
for
name, and I don't want to know his
Exactly.
name.
Seriously, it's
Goodbye.
scary.
We hope to do an update in a much better stance than this.
Yes. But anyways, thank you so much for coming on to this
guys.
episode. And we loved having you here. We loved
Always.
hearing the tea. We loved hearing
Yes.
everything.
In our PJs, super
Always.
cute PJs.
Of course.
And guys, stay tuned for our episode in January.
Yes.
New episode, new fun things.
Early New Year, everybody.
And if you want to be in Ciara's beautiful seat, right there, she looks great in it.
So comfy.
In the next coming year, then please sign out the form link down below or in our
Do it, guys.
Instagram. Tell them to subscribe.
Do it. You
Yes.
say a lot more than you realize. It's fun. Do it.
Yes, it's fun. Good times.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
And
Bye, everybody.